Madeline Kingsbury's loved ones are now facing the unimaginable. Their daughter, sister, mother, and close friend vanished without a trace. Katie Kolka recounts that sleepless night.
This weekend was the last weekend I saw her alive.
Madeline Kingsbury was going through a rough patch one night and confided in her close friend, Katie Kolka.
I was scrolling Facebook and I just saw this meme about your life will get better. And it was a butterfly thing. So I sent it to her. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up to a text the next morning saying, "Oh my gosh, you're making me cry. I love you."
Friday, March 31st started out like any other. Madeline responded to text from family and friends while she got 2 kids ready for daycare.
I had sent her like a funny picture of her from a trip we took last summer to the East Coast. And she, responded, "Oh, I'm so ugly," and, joked a little bit about that.
Around 8, Madeline and the father of her children, Adam Fravel, continued with their normal routine, dropping the kids off at daycare. When they got home, Madeline was supposed to log into work and go to Rochester later that day. Adam planned to continue moving his belongings out of the townhome the two shared.
She just never responded. That was at like 8:15.
She was traveling between that and daycare and, whatever other kind of errands she does while she's in Rochester after work or here in Winona. I didn't think anything of it that she hadn't reached out anymore that day.
According to investigators, Adam texted Madeline asking about supper plans and when she would be home. When he didn't get a response, Adam picked the kids up and brought them to his parents' house in Mabel. By nightfall, no one had heard from Madeline. To friends and family, this was out of character. Her sister, Madeline Kingsbury, began to worry.
I had sent a message to Adam like, "Have you heard from Madeline? What's going on?" And I learned he was at his parents' with the kids, and that concerned me because he didn't typically take care of both of them by himself.
Megan then messaged Katie, asking if she had heard from Madeline.
In that moment, I felt frozen, but I felt fear.
Katie drove over to Madeline's townhome. Backed into the driveway was her dark blue Chrysler van.
I stopped and I panicked even harder. I had my husband on the phone. I'm like, her van is backed in. I'm like, I know Maddie. She doesn't back in. And she was supposed to be gone the next day with her daughter. So she should have been home with at least her daughter.
Katie pounded on the door and windows.
I was getting even more worried by the second.
Through a window, Katie could see a jacket Madeline often wore.
I got back to her sister and I'm like, I think it's time to call the police.
Winona police arrived at the home and followed Katie's steps. The landlord of the townhome let officers in. There was no sign of Madeline.
It was unlike her enough that's why we wanted to file a missing persons report right away.
For Katie and her husband Sterling, the search for Madeline started that night. Adam's sister, Teresa Sis, grew worried too.
I was told that night that she never came home from work. I was very confused and I don't even know how to explain it. It's something that you never think would happen to your family.
It would be a sleepless night for many as they waited for the phone to ring, hoping it would be Madeline on the other side.
I was very nervous. I was pacing around in my kitchen. And just the longer that we went without hearing from her, you just go through a lot of different scenarios in your mind of what could have happened.
April 1st, Megan and her mother, Krista Neighbor, got up early to drive from Minneapolis to Winona, while Madeline's father, David Kingsbury, filed a missing persons report. The family asked Katie to calmly start asking friends if they had heard from Madeline.
She kept in touch with a lot of people on a daily basis. And once people started seeing that she wasn't answering anybody, it became it became real. It was wildfire.
Yeah.
Once the news got out.
The Winona Police Department is asking for help with finding a missing woman.
Winona Police and the Fillmore County Sheriff's Office are asking for help to find a missing woman. The BCA says 26-year-old Madeline Jane Kingsbury was last seen Friday morning.
Winona police quickly called the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension for more resources. Meanwhile, friends started forming search parties.
It was crazy to see how many people really cared and were willing to here, let me take a map and
it wasn't just searching for Maddie, it was the fact that we were looking in dumpsters and drain ditches.
Yeah, it was just the randomest
riverbanks.
places. Yeah.
And we got the city covered in that one day.
Yeah.
With drones and people.
After 3 days, investigators declared Madeline as an endangered missing person. And on April 5th, the first press conference was called.
Based on all of this, we believe Maddie's disappearance is involuntary, suspicious, and we are all concerned for her safety. Law enforcement began searching areas nearby Maddie's residence and along Highway 43 in both Winona and Fillmore counties. Our search efforts have been ongoing.
Investigators asked the public for help. Those living along Highway 43 were asked to save all surveillance camera video. A dark blue Chrysler van, one just like Madeline's, was spotted driving on Highway 43 during the morning hours of March 31st. The community was also asked to search their properties for anything that looked out of place.
Your information might be the final piece that brings Maddie home.
We will remain loud about this and continue to advocate for Madeline any way, shape, or form. We're offering a $50,000 reward for any information leading to her whereabouts. So please help us find Madeline. The children need their mother. We need our daughter, our sister, our aunt, and our best friend back.
It haunts me that I got to go to sleep and hug and kiss my kids, and when she dropped her kids off at daycare, that was the last time that she got to hug and kiss her kids.
It's been nearly a week and still no signs of Maddie Kingsbury, the missing 26-year-old Winona woman and mother of 2.
On April 7th, Winona County Emergency Management organized a large-scale search. More than 1,000 laced up their boots and headed out.
We weren't present because we didn't want to be a distraction, and we searched on our own. But seeing aerial footage of people walking in lines on farmland and people in bright orange vests looking throughout the woods, it was very, very surreal. And we can't thank people enough for doing that.
On social media, fingers pointed in Adam's direction. For Teresa, the online harassment was difficult and scary.
I definitely was not going to put myself in that position to be harmed. So I did not search with them.
On April 12th, Adam broke his silence, releasing a statement through his attorney, Zach Bauer.
Adam has been consistent with law enforcement from the first time he sat down with them that he didn't have anything to do with Maddie's disappearance. These are the mother of his 2 children, obviously. He wants her home safe, and he is trying his best through efforts with law enforcement as well as within the community to try to make that happen.
According to Adam and his family, BCA agents told them not to search with the public or attend any press conferences. The BCA clarified that wasn't true. According to Teresa, Adam and his family searched on their own, driving up and down the back roads of Mabel.
You come to the point in your head where you don't know where to search, because then you become confused on where did she go?
While everyone focused on finding Madeline, Adam found himself in the middle of a custody battle. With Madeline missing, the kids didn't have a legal guardian. They were put under the custody of Winona County and given to Madeline's father and stepmom. According to a child protection petition, When officers showed up to take the children, Adam and his family wouldn't cooperate. Adam started shouting expletives, refusing to give the kids up or gather their belongings. Ultimately, Winona County took custody of the young children.
We were very concerned for the kids' safety before they were taken from Adam. And I think that was like the bright, shining moment when they came to us with the kids. It was such a relief.
We're asking you to walk your property, check out buildings, and have a good look around.
Week after week, groups of volunteers showed up for Madeline.
It was morbid.
In the pit of my stomach, I knew I was looking for my best friend's body. In my head, I'm hoping she's hurt, at least, somewhere, and we'll find her.
The terrain of Minnesota's bluff country made the search especially difficult.
It was scary, and it was exhausting. And there was just so much open space down there.
1 month after Madeline went missing after dropping her kids off at daycare, her family hosted a vigil.
Take what you've heard about Madeline tonight as a call to arms. When you leave here tonight, you should be thinking, not here, not in our town, not in our county, and not in our state. Someone knows something. Someone saw something. Make this your battle cry. Where's Madeline? Where is she? Make it loud, and don't stop until she's found.
Winona was dressed in blue as the community set out ribbons and blue lights to honor Madeline for her 27th birthday on June 1st. Despite this push, tips and information coming in to investigators slowed. For the Kingsburys, frustration began to set in.
We were kind of sitting around and don't know what to say, you don't want to look at each other, you don't really want to do anything.
Megan recounts feeling hopeless the morning of June 7th.
I was very emotional and just very like, where is she? Like, why hasn't she been found yet? Like, how is this still going on?
Then her phone rang.
I was sitting in my living room with my fiance and my dad called. And my mom was also on the phone, and we were kind of waiting for him to dial in my brother, so just a big group call. He didn't say about what yet, but I kind of had this feeling. And so when everyone was on the line, he said that I think there were some BCA agents at his house, and said that they, had found remains, and they hadn't done any testing yet, but they were 99% sure it was Maddie. They identified, some of her tattoos and things. I fell to the floor and it was terrible.
When you haven't said goodbye to somebody and they're just vanished or taken or whatever word you want to use, and then you find out that they passed and you haven't had that chance to see them or say goodbye or anything. It's a very weird void inside that you can't explain.
Adam was arrested at his parents' house in Mabel for suspicion of murder. Teresa believes authorities were quick to arrest her brother.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just like sometimes you just know. There's no way. There's just no way that he did it.
In a matter of hours, Madeline's friends got the news Adam had been arrested.
I called Maddie's mom and I'm like, please don't tell me. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, sweetheart, but they found her.
I get a call from my sorority sister, Michaela. And I don't hear anything on the other end for like 3 seconds. And all of a sudden it's sobbing. And I remember standing bolt right up from my chair, just knowing.
As the loved ones grappled with the grim discovery, a legal battle was only beginning.
Law enforcement has confirmed the remains are those of Madeline Kingsbury.